um, located somewhere in China, and we cannot discount that this is just a. It was the Chinese government did it. At the moment, Your Honor,
So any other proof or evidence, or are there any other signs that these attacks were in fact state-sponsored, or at least state-sanctioned by the People's Republic?
we cannot say that, Your Honor, because the using VPN, Your Honor, the
Sorry.
virtual network.
Yes.
It goes to some countries, and some of the research by the CICC owner, there are some countries that this smear campaign that was posted online is located somewhere in China, some is in other countries, Your Honor, because they're using VPN, so we cannot locate it, Your Honor.
Right, but aside from the IP addresses, any other trademarks, any other hallmarks of Chinese origin?
Your Honor,
Kasi nga iniikot-ikot. Pero maliban doon, wala nang ibang indikasyon?
there's no big indication, Your Honor, that the Chinese government is doing it, Your Honor.
Oh, okay,
but,
because that's the impression that your report, or at least the report of the cyber agencies released in February, parang gano'n ang sinasabi.
Yes, Your Honor. The record that was released in February, Your Honor, it all goes to the Chinese government, Your Honor, that the Chinese has to do with it, all the campaign that going online, Your Honor. But until now, Your Honor, we cannot pin, the ICC is still doing the deep research because of the tools that we have, Your Honor, is not that high-tech that we can pinpoint all throughout to the Chinese government, Your Honor. Only the analysis, Your Honor.
Okay, so after the February attack with the IP addresses suspiciously deriving from China, meron na naman kayong report noong 27 April, hindi ko alam kung DICT o nanggaling sa CICC o galing sa NBI, na nagsabi, recent massive spike in cyber misinformation against the Philippines from a website called Dark Reading. May alam po kayo tungkol dito? Kasi lumabas to sa dyaryo. Yes, please. DICT Director Reyes po.
Yes, ma'am.
Kayo yung nag-release nito, yung tungkol sa dark reading?
Hindi po, though we have also monitored some spikes relative to that one. So similarly, ma'am, we are working with the Cybercrime Investigation Coordination Center. So we trace most of the IP addresses that emanates from China as well.
Okay, is it true that cyber espionage activities in the Philippines have increased fourfold in the first quarter of 2024?
Actually, ma'am, we could not classify it if it's espionage. We are trying to look into breaches and incidents. And
yes,
we
but
have been
at least in terms of the hacking, in terms of the attacks on government sites.
yes, ma'am. We have
Is
been.
it true that there's been a fourfold increase in said activity, in many cases using IP address that come from China, or having other proof that they derive from that country?
Yes, ma'am. For having it classified with as espionage, we have been reporting the incidents on a monthly basis through the National Cyber
pero
Interagency
tama na
Committee.
talagang times 4 na yung dagdag? Ganun ba kadami?
Yes, ma'am. Meron pong ganung spikes
Ganun
po.
talaga kadami?
Yes, ma'am.
Pero ang sinasabi niyong spike, ibig sabihin, babagsak ulit, tapos tataas ulit?
Yes,
Ganun ba
ma'am.
yun?
There were instances, ma'am, when we have some incidents within the West Philippines Sea, medyo may spikes. After that one,
At
bababa.
tuwing may insidente sa West Philippine Sea, ganun?
Meron pong ganung trend, ma'am.
Yes, ang sabi, last year, this is going back a little bit, even if it's not cyber espionage, may sinasabi na yung Chinese hackers launched malware attacks on critical infrastructure bases in Guam. Is there any possibility or suspicion of that happening in the Philippines, given the rising tensions in the West Philippine Sea?
We
This
do-
is an attack on the infrastructure bases in Guam, yung malware na narinig natin.
We have been monitoring some malwares, ma'am,
Yes, that's
specifically
right.
with our
That's
government
why I'm
agencies.
asking. Is there any malware attack against our critical infrastructure
We
similar
have-
to Guam's?
We have experienced, ma'am, so many. In fact, we have
So many?
we have been experiencing many, ma'am, malware attacks. Although we have been preventing it The reason for that, ma'am, we have already a connection with our government agencies. We have a National Security Operations Center wherein 28 government agencies are connected to us, and we have been monitoring them 24/7, ma'am.
So
we
what's
have been
being done to secure the country's critical infrastructure from malware and other digital attacks?
Yes, ma'am. We are recommending most, if not all, government agencies to connect to our National Security Operations Center to be monitored 24/7. If we have monitored such, we'll be informing them on such and we'll be investigating deeply.
So are the key agencies, for example, CAAP and so on, are airports, are seaports, are they all part and parcel of your national security
The
operation?
CAAP, ma'am, I think is already connected to our National Security Operations Center as well.
PPA?
We'll give you, ma'am, the listings. We have 28 of them, ma'am, later, ma'am.
Have you actually caught any Chinese or other hacker group in the past 12 months or so? May nahuhuli ba tayo? Kasi mayat maya may report tungkol dito. Eh baka wala naman nahuhuli kahit kailan. Nakakaya naman tayo.
Yes, ma'am. The prosecution and investigation, we pass it to the CICC, the National Bureau of Investigation, PNP, ma'am.
Nandito yung CICC, Attorney Talamaya. Ang galing mo magpasa, Director Reyes. Attorney Talamaya,
Actually, ma'am, it's not on purview.
meron ba kayong nahuhuli? O
Yo-
di kaya nahabla?
Your Honor,
Nakukulong?
the CICC don't have any power regarding the law enforcement, Your Honor.
Madam Chair, may I? The latest PAOK operations that resulted in the takeover of illegal cyber hubs in Bambantarlac and in Porac, Pampanga, have resulted in a treasure trove of figurative treasure trove of a lot of capabilities which are under the process of analysis.
So this has to do with cybersecurity or simply with POGO?
It has,
treasure
we
trove?
are not assuming that. Actually, ma'am, we hesitate to classify this as a POGO because this is not a POGO. They were involved in human trafficking.
But isn't that the very nature of POGO, that
No, ma'am,
criminal syndicates undertake international crime?
Actually, ma'am, I'd like to differentiate, if I can take the opportunity. POGOs are business process outsourcing that do not take bets anyway. But I think what happened was during the ban on gambling in China, they transferred operations
There's
here.
always been a ban in China.
Right. And when Macau was closed, they transferred here, and all sorts of things happened. Now, suffice it to state, ma'am, that I think
Anong pinagkaiba sa POGO?
No, a POGO is a pure business process outsourcing. For
Okay.
example, ma'am, off-track betting.
Anong suspicion ninyo dun sa Bamban at sa Porac?
Ay, hindi po, love scam na ho, scamming na eh.
Pero yung love scam, usong-uso yan sa NBI. Noong pa yan sinabi Lorenzo, parating rin na-report yan.
No, love scam and other forms of illegal activities. And I really don't know if bet taking or gaming was included.
So hindi na siya POGO kasi hindi na
ma'am.
siya bet taking.
Hindi na, ma'am. And the equipment gathered is still in the process of being.
So it's a cybercrime hub.
Yes, ma'am.
Kung ano-anong scam na yan.
Definitely a
So
cybercrime hub.
there are no actual gambling machines, is that what you're saying?
No, ma'am. It's all electronic and
No, but
text
most
blast machine.
gambling setups now are electronic.
I'm not too sure, ma'am. I'm not too sure about that. It's with the PAOK now, but I think I have information that all agencies are cooperating and analyzing this as to see what kind of activities these people were involved in.
So yung nahuhuli natin, hindi pa natin nahuhuli sa cyber talaga. Nahuhuli talaga sa physical
Sa law enforcement operations,
and
ma'am.
law enforcement operations.
Yung cyber, ma'am,
Yung
is
sa cyber,
more
wala pa tayo
preventative.
nahuhuli sa dinami-daming report.
Preventative, ma'am. At least walang breach, walang DNS, walang denial of service na nangyayari. I mean, in that sense, parang bangko po, hindi nasasara yung ATM. Bagamat may reported na mga breaches, na
pero
ipapara
hindi
naman.
tumitigil. Kasi nag-times
Hindi po
4
talaga
na nga.
titigil yun, ma'am. Hindi
Pero
titigil.
nababawasan kapag takedown ka ng takedown.
Depende po sa sitwasyon. Katulad din naman po ng mga kumpanya, hindi po tumitigil talaga. Lumalaki